Hello, everyone. Hello, Ashes Nation. Welcome to the Jankyard. I am your host, The Treatment, and tonight we have a great set of games for you. We are hosting and streaming the Collection 2023 Top 4. It is a double header, so there's going to be two games. And I also happen to have a co host with me, although he is going to be audio only for this evening. Let me just switch over quickly to our game session because that's where I have him on. All right, Lark, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello. Can you
Okay.
all hear me?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they can hear you. I know that Shadow's in the chat. He'll probably say something. Um, and also, I'll let everyone know that we're live, um, so that we can give some people some time to hop in. Um, and yeah, so tonight the first game is going to be between one of the local jankyarders, Killer Cactus, and Carl Diaz, aka New Math on Ashteki, one of the greatest players to play the game. They both are really. Top five players for sure. And it's going to be a very interesting match. It's going to be Hope in a very aggro burn type of deck versus Carl's Herald, which is more on the control side. And then after that, we're going to be watching Underrug Swept on Odette versus Brian on Herald as well, but a different Herald. So before we get to any of the matches, though, I do have some, I guess, announcements and housekeeping to do because Impossible German can't make it this evening. So I'm just going to read out to you what the prize support is going to be for all of our competitors. And these are pretty exciting. So to start off, all of the competitors of the collection will be keeping their collection name, color, like the color that we were assigned earlier, until the next collection. So that's pretty cool. Then, for all of the top 8, they will have a gold name color until the next collection. The top 4 will each receive a semi-finalist playmat themed after Embrace. That's really cool. Playmats are always awesome prizes. And then when we get to the runner up, they will be replacing their top 4 playmat with one for the card of their choice. So that's really awesome. And finally, the champion will replace their top 4 playmat with one for the card of their choice. And they are also going to receive a set of the stone dice matching their winning deck from Plaid Hat Games. So the stone dice were also something that was handed out to at Gen Con, and so that's really cool. Chaos Theory had those dice, so they look really cool. Not ones you're likely going to play with, but they're going to look great on a shelf.
Those are some
Um,
incredible prizes.
yeah, and they ship the week after the collection. German promises. So we all know that he is true to his word for prize delivery. So that's really awesome. And so we got some chatter going on. We've got Waves saying, "Hi, Lark," and Shadow saying, "Hey, Lark, can you say something?" And no one really cares about me. So, Lark, why don't you talk to the folks for a second while I have a sip of water?
Sure. Let me just switch over to YouTube to see if I can. Can everyone hear me all right over here in the chat?
Yeah, if you guys can hear Lark say something, shout it out, give a heart, give an emoji, whatever, just so we
Yep.
know that I'm not doing this for nothing.
Can anyone hear me?
Waves, said high treatment. All right. There also might be, I think there's a
Could
slight
be a
stream
delay.
delay. So yeah. Um, it sounds
Post
like
both
Lark is a
down
little
if you
louder
can hear
still.
me. Oh,
Yeah, they can hear you. I just gotta,
oh,
I guess, bring
perfect.
you
There is
down.
just a bit of a delay. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, these are really exciting. Clue, aka Jared Loopold, says, "Get the f out of here!" Amazing. And Waves also says, "Playmat of a card of your choice is sick." If Lark's audio comes down about 40%, you would be good. Okay, so we are high on you. That's fine. I can bring you down. Okay,
Certainly.
so I mean, there's no reason to delay any further. It seems that everyone is filing in. Brian's on here. Lark apparently was loud. Okay, I'll turn him down, guys. He's just so excited, and we're gonna get right to it. So I'll let the competitors know that we're good to go. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. What are your thoughts for this game? How do you think this is gonna play out?
Well, let's see. We've got Hope and Herald. Um, I'm interested to see how the burn matches up to the inherent healing that Herald has available.
Okay,
That wasn't
Carl.
something. Nope.
So we have time to talk.
Yeah. So yeah,
so
I
yeah,
think,
you were saying Hope, yeah, on the burn.
yeah, that was the key trick that won the Demona matchup. But I wonder how effective it's going to be against Herald. On the other hand, this is a matchup where I think that the battlefield Hope will be able to play a little more into that as opposed to being walled by Fallen. So
Yeah, well, it's going to be very interesting because there's obviously on the Hope side a lot of one-lifers,
hmm
and Carl's list has a lot of ping, obviously, and control, so that's going to be interesting. But also, Hope can go really fast. So
hmm
if Killer can hit for, I don't know, 8 to 10 round one, that's going to put a big clock on Carl's ability to come back, regardless of the healing from Consume Soul, I think.
Indeed. The
And
one-lifers aren't the worst against Hunter's Mark either, since the double damage doesn't really apply to them.
yeah, exactly. And of course, the Hope list, which I have up on screen, also has Sleeping Widows, which
hmm
ever since the errata for Brennan sort of took a dip, but when they come out, they get you. It's a
Indeed.
it's a fast 4 damage, potentially even more if there's excuse me, duplicate or final cry.
Well, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see Herald running up against his own Vampire Bat Swarm as well.
Yeah, yeah. And so just we will go I'll go through the list just for the sake of all of our listeners and watchers in case they're not actually looking at the screen right now. So in Killer Cactus's list, which was entitled Turn Off Your Brain and Hope for the Best, we have 3 ceremonial, 2 nature, 1 divine, and 4 sympathy. The spell board is Summon Lightbringer, Summon Mirror Spirit, Summon Vampire Bat Swarm. And it's worth noting that the Mirror Spirit is not focused, so it's really just there for a little bit of extra punch when Hope swarms. Then we've got 9 allies, which are composed of 3 Fire Archers, a Hunt Master, 2 Old Salt, 3 Herders. And then action spells are 2 Bloodchains, a Clashing Tempers, 2 Molten Gold, a Wrath, and then 12 reactions. So on top of the 3 Void Pulse, there's 3 Sympathy Pain, 3 Final Cry, so the full sort of reaction burn suite, 2 Widows, and an Ice Trap. And then let's see if I hop over to Carl's list, although it might be that we have to start the other game. I'm not sure if Under Rock and Brian will be ready for that since we've already started, but we'll see. We'll figure this out, everyone. Let's go over to Carl's list, which is on 3 ceremonial, 3 divine, 4 sympathy. It's got the full 3 Chant of Transfusion, a Lightbringer, and the 3 Mirror Spirits. So the focus effect is a very a strong potential control tool for Carl. Then there are 19 allies, which is wild but very effective. An Anchornaut, Light Swordsman, 3 Salts, a Phoenix Attendant, 3 Herders, Ritualist, 3 Scalds, 3 Shepherds, and 3 Sonics. Only 2 action spells, 2 Bloodchains, and then there's only actually 1 Consume Soul in this list. So really the healing in this list is actually very minimal. It comes down to Phoenix Attendant and 1 Consume Soul and technically the ability to recur the Phoenix Attendant and do the tricks. But really it's not a very sort of heavy heal list the way Redentor's packed list was.
Mhm.
All right, we've got more people joining in. Killer is still unsure about Carl. If anyone can ping Carl, tell him to leave the parents alone. He said he's got parent teacher conference tonight. No, Fred, you haven't missed anything. We're just lacking one of our competitors, so we're here, just talking. Um, Interested to hear, people's thoughts. Who's going to take it? What it's going to look like? Oh, there we go. Hey, what's up? We got Carl in the game.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you want to take bets on who's going to come out ahead?
Taking bets. I don't know. These are both some pretty high performance decks. I'd be hard pressed to give the advantage one way or another.
Yeah, they play so different, and I think it really will come down to most likely round 2 draw.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Killer does go hard and fast, then he won't really have many units left, so it'll be a matter of getting that last little bit of burn. And apparently I'm disconnected already, or is that just Carl?
I'm in. Oh, yeah, I'm in the game. Yeah.
Carl has failed to connect. We're starting off hot and strong. Brian says I could play now. Yeah, well, I think if we can start now, then that's probably the way it's gonna.
Everyone. Oh wait, no. Casey's back in.
We're gonna.
Looking at the way the decks are arranged, it's interesting how similar the dice spreads are.
Yeah, just Killer's got the 2 nature.
2 divine versus 2 nature, yeah.
Clue says, oof, that Chain of Transfusion and Old Salt looks brutal. If Herald first 5's Blood Chains, I think he's got it. That would be interesting.
That could be pretty backbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, it would definitely lock down, for instance, the bats, and then, you're really in trouble.
Yeah, an exhausted bat is at its most vulnerable.
But, I mean, who knows? Killer, he might play to the board. He might also worry that he doesn't have the longevity against so many sources of ping and just decide to do some sort of variation of Oops All Burn, go really fast.
Yeah, I would suspect that this is the match where Hope has to play fast. The pile of reactions versus the pile of allies is.
Yeah, we might have to remake this game. So I'm gonna pop out and then have Carl remake. While we wait for the new game to pop up, we've got Mr. Matt Bowers, Mattier Bowers, in the chat, and he's saying Blood Chains and a sonic exhausting Vampire Bat Swarm makes Hope's Road tough. Fred's asking who's with me. It's Lark, the king of mono.
Wolf down.
Yep. Well, I think I played you a while back in Phoenix League, and you had a mono sympathy, which was really cool in Rowan.
Yeah, that one I'm still working on. Need to get a decent win con in there, but the infinite card recycling was definitely effective.
Yeah, it would not be good against some sort of mill deck. I think in that game I did play more of a fast burn, but anyway, I'm interested to see what you have for the charm set, since I'm sure you've already cooked up several different decks.
I've got a fun mono charm Rin one that I've been working on.
Okay. Yeah. Very sturdy, very wall-like.
Rin can get some good endurance. I think is it a 3-eyed owl ice buff deck? I can't quite recall, but it's I think there was also a bit of arrogance, Scattering Fist bypass going on. Or quick removal, I should say.
Rin and 3-eyed owl is something that I've tried before, because it really makes them stick, and it's very annoying to spend more resources into something that costs 1, but is,
absolutely,
3 life is not necessarily trivial.
No, Owl really wants to be a drain on resources, and 3 life certainly makes it one.
While we're sitting here, I love what I'm seeing. So today, just in case anyone doesn't know, our Lord and Savior of Ashtaki, Mr. Dijon, he pushed out an update today where the standard 1 level of Corpse of Veros is now free and available to any and all players, and it will only be subsequent levels as well as the Frostwild and Neverset whenever it comes, which is exclusive to his Patreon patrons. And so there are currently 2 solo games going on right now, which is really cool. There's also someone who looks like a sprout means that they're a new player and they're probably going to be doing a learning game. So I just love to see the activity.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think
Killer has created a new game. We'll see if anyone or if Carl can join.
Oh, doesn't seem like that's going to work according to the in-game chat.
Tell Carl to control F5, restart the whole thing. Shadow saying, I think the Mono Charm Rin had Mindfog Owl and Badger in it. Oh, probably like his version.
That's right, yeah. It was, now that you mentioned that, I do remember, it was a Mindfog Owl Hyper Bypass deck.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, Mindfog Owl has some interesting synergies with the Chimera Charmer, and with Arrogance. As long as you can get 1 unit through, the Owls, of course, ride in for free.
Yeah. I'm very interested. I assume that Focus Mindfog will be very popular.
It's good. It's really good. And it's a great one for Mayoni as well, actually, if you want to get some of those free charm dice out for the Venom Strike. Assuming you're playing a triple Venom, no Snake deck.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Mayoni pans out. I mean, honestly, I'm interested to see all of them, but there are some that are unnatural. I guess it's easy to see what they could do, and then the triple Venom Strike is interesting. I'm still not sure. I don't know if you listened to the podcast.
I did listen to the podcast, actually.
What do you think of Gifted Rose?
I think Gifted Rose is going to be useful as a surprise from time to time, but you're going to need to be playing a more aggressive version of Leo. One where the mill pressure from Finch is more incidental, and you're using it as a unit guard to protect a key unit, which I think Leo can do. Built-in unit guard, that's pretty darn good. And Gifted Rose means that you can get not quite as good as Herald, but a quick stock off, and then force your opponent to spend some quantity of resources in order to keep you from doing it again.
Yeah, I like the idea of. I mean, sometimes I'd go all in on an idea, but I like the idea of packing it with potentially Cloudburst and Lioness, so that you not only have a secondary stock, but then you have quick strike pressure that forces them to guard when they don't want to.
Quick strike, I think, is one of the best things you can get for Gifted Rose.
Which means Light Swordsman. You're also in color if you're in the Divine side.
Yeah, and these are all units which are nice to protect with the Glowfinch as well.
Exactly, yeah. All right,
yeah,
there are some major technical difficulties. I'm not sure. I mean, we can't control anything on our end. But yeah. What is your favorite unit? Or I shouldn't even say unit. What's your favorite card from the new set?
Oh, favorite card from the new set? That's a hard one. I think that Timberwing is the one that I've been playing the most. It's just really fun to try to get that mini game going. It has a similar thing going on to the Three-Eyed Owl, where even if it's not turning into the Eternity Flame, you can still make your opponent waste a lot of resources keeping that pressure off. And then once you do get the Eternity Flame in, there's a few different fun combos that you can work with. Jericho is, I think, my favorite of those. She gets 2 Shimmer Wings online immediately and then can blink the big one. There's a really good synergy as well with Chimera Charmer there, because you can Chimera Charmer to get the Charm die out as a main action, and then blink your Eternity Flame as a side action. instantly getting that combo going without needing a full turn of putting the charm die out first. Or you
Yeah.
could just accelerate into it, but
I mean,
but
there's a lot of possibilities, but the blink just, I mean, blink is always fun. If you get a blink
yeah,
off on most of the classic units, it's always fun.
yeah, blinking a Chimera Charmer, that's another good one too, even if you don't have the flame out. Um, Canyon Shelter is another fun one with the Eternity Flame. Bring it out, swing with it, and then immediately tuck it back in. And now you have on demand the threat of the Eternity Flame coming out. Red King has a really strong Fiona deck that uses that. I can potentially refresh either the Shimmerwing books to make the threat of the Eternity Flame more ready, or can refresh the Canyon Shelter to do it all over again if you need to.
Yeah, yeah. So there's apparently an issue going on, and Brian just said that they're having a side conversation to see if they can figure it out with Dijon.
Mm,
So we'll see.
got it. But yeah, I guess um, Shimmerwing I think is my favorite card from the new set. How about you?
I mean, it depends. If we're talking purely competitive type of cards, what I think is the best, then I think it's Farewell.
Yeah,
But
Farewell I think is the big one.
if we're talking about favorite from a fun perspective or from the type of card that inspires a lot of builds, I definitely think Shimmerwing is one of the top. I think Dealer's Choice for me is going to be very interesting to try and engineer the situations where you get the best benefit.
It's really fun at 5
And
action speed.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's really cool that way. And then I mean that then can be sort of a mix. That they all have their interesting mini games. I think that's what this set is all about in a way, is the mini
it really is.
games. Timing something like a Rose Gardener if you're playing against Chant of Transfusion is going to be really interesting. And oh, there we go. Carl's got a game up. Let's try and join this.
Okay.
Badger, is just sweet, and again, trying to get it so that it maximizes the value as a 3/3 is really
Mhm.
cool. Uh, I mean, Phoenix Born uniques are always something that you try and play with.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try probably all of them. I mean, I don't I don't remember if I tried all of them from every other set yet because there's just too many deck ideas and
I know, not
also
enough time.
yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Fred
Yeah.
says I think it'll combo well with Realm Walker, Dealer's Choice. That's an interesting thought.
Oh yeah. It also combos well with Estrella. You
Mm-hmm.
ask them 2 units, which one do you want to exhaust, and then you simply exhaust the other one. It's like a second use of her ability for almost the same price.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And also the timing tricks of whether you can get something double exhausted because that's not a
Absolutely.
constraint, which is really cool. All
Yeah.
right. Are you watching the game? Just I want to make sure that
Yep. I'm
you
in.
also have it.
I'm watching.
Cool.
It's live on my end.
Good. Okay. Then it seems that we are beyond all the tech issues. So here we go. What do you think? Let's see if we can guess the first fives. What are your thoughts? Let's start with
Well,
Carl.
let me take a look at Carl's list here. I'd be
Yeah, I have
shocked
it
if
up.
we didn't see Lightbringer in the first 5. Um,
Hmm.
I think that's going to be an important piece of control here. I'd expect we actually see Lightbringer on both first 5s.
Okay.
Um, Mirror Spirit is an interesting one. It'll be more useful with the second copy, of course. And I could see if it came down to it, an Old Salt would probably pack a better punch in round 1 and against this particular deck.
Right.
I guess that we're definitely going to see a Ritualist for the Chant of Transfusion. And I think Blood Chains was a good call from the chat. That could be pretty dangerous here.
Interesting. I think he'll probably go with his. I don't want to say standard open because I haven't seen all of his games, but definitely last game when he opened with a Sonic and an Old Salt and then the Ritualist, Lightbringer. I think he played Mirror Spirit as well. But yeah, I think at least those 4 cards for sure.
Yeah, that would be rolls are looking
Killer.
pretty standard. No one rolled any
Kill,
power dice, so there could be some heavy meditation, depending on
yeah.
what they need.
Oh, we've got Impossible German in the chat. He says, "Hey, I've been in chat with all the top 4 while this has been going on, discussing our options and making sure everything is fair. So glad this is working." Yeah. And Brian says 100% Carl plays at least 1 Old Salt in round 1.
Yeah, the value is
Here we
just too good on
go.
my guy.
Aggressive open. I love it. I
Eventually,
kind
the
of
final
figured.
cry. That's a hard loss there, depending on what the win con is eventually.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, I didn't have the. Sorry, guys. I will open the discard piles. Oh, the second final cry. Oof.
And a wrath.
Oh,
Although,
there's a. This is cool. Okay, so there's some changes to Ashteki already.
yeah.
There's a little indicator on the die. I guess that's indicating what was last spent. And then there's also
Mm-hmm.
some icons. I'm wondering what happens. Oh, cool. Adjust the size of the discards.
Very nice.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Dijon. More changes to improve
Indeed, thank you.
our quality of life. Okay, so Carl started with Herder.
Yep,
I
we've got
guess
a double Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Lightbringer could be trouble in this particular. Well, no, because Hope can always duplicate the hatchling.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be hard to actually get past a potentially I mean, Void Pulse can handle one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad. It almost would have been better if Killer had started Lightbringer because he had first player. Then he could pull one of the units out of position and
Exactly.
then duplicate and swing all out. I'm wondering if he's going to meditate a frog
Oh,
so that
frog up.
there we go. Okay.
Sympathy pain. We're seeing all the burn in the pile.
Yeah, that hurts. I think that really hurts his game plan.
I think so too.
Phoenix Attendant and Sleeping Widows from Carl's side. So the only Sleeping Widows he has is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Ritualist into Chain of Transfusion.
Yep, as expected, and transfusion goes up.
Yep.
No immediate response to the swarm, but it could be that we see something like blood chains on the ritualist next.
Yeah, what do you do here? Because obviously you don't want to. Well, there's only.
Oh, it looks like we're going wide.
Okay.
Possibly.
Well, one of those units is going to die, but you're not getting a ton of value here.
No, that's an interesting choice. The attacks are all quite big, but they get chump blocked easily, unless only the duplicate is swinging. But even if the duplicate is the only swinging unit, then that's a lot
says
of.
Carl takes 4. Okay. Very, very aggro. Oh, and German also, he mentioned that he wants to stress how amazing the sportsmanship in this tournament is. These are outstanding competitors. Yeah. I mean,
100%.
the entire collection is really just, and even extending it to the entire Phoenix League in the year. I think it's been a great year for Ashes. The tournaments that were run by everyone, the league itself.
Yeah, I've been here since the start of Reborn, and this is, I felt like one of the best years to date.
All right. So Carl blocks. The Void Pulse did come down to clear the
Nice.
Raptor, which it's possible actually that Carl started a Shepherd to recur the Herder, and then he still has dice available for Lightbringer and Old Salt and something else.
Looks like something in here wasn't according to Cactus's plan.
No. Oh gosh, how dumb. Yeah, I think it feels like that was the type of play where you have your your turn 1, 2, 3 mapped out, and then the herder as a defensive play might not have been exactly what he was expecting.
Mhm. Two bodies in one shot is hard to crack.
Yeah.
All right, we've got
Sonic.
a little more burn pressure here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
have
I'm.
a
Hmm.
one card in hand and one die expenditure on the table. A Lightbringer obviously has to come out at some point. I'm curious to see if those three remaining dice are in fact for an Old Salt.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, there
there
it
it
is.
is. Clears too. Brian, yeah, Brian makes a good point. He needed to void pulse the hatchling instead of the herder. That way, he forces the bat swarm to happen
Mhm.
because it basically put him in a position where Carl didn't have to block the bat,
Yeah, the bag can just,
and then he can't swarm it.
yep.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing that Sympathy die was set up for in advance. And I think we're going to see, yeah, that's now Divine Power die for an extra bit of attack power. Two units that
Everyone's.
could swing.
Oh, it's not the Huntmaster that everyone thought it was going to be. That's now meditated,
Yeah, there's some
which,
heavy meditation here.
yeah. I wonder how he doesn't have Fester. People aren't running Fester, and given the number of knights I've seen, I think that's a mistake.
I think Fester would be a good call in a lot of these scenarios. Two shadows too, depending on your colors. But
Mm-hmm.
I ran Fade Away, but I couldn't get any good mileage out of it during the tournament. Oh, there's Molten Gold.
Okay.
Pressing the
So
accelerator.
he's going for it. He's
Yeah,
doing as much burn as possible, which makes me think that the two cards in hand are the Final Cry and Sympathy Pain. So it'll
I
be another 4.
I might think it could be as well. Another 4 would put this into very dangerous territory for Carl.
Yeah, so it really is a race. That's what I think is going to happen, and
Yeah. Will we see a Final Cry triggered here?
probably that would be. And Carl would be able to, as at top of round, because he's going to clear everything. He's going to be able to hit at most for 6.
6, and we're going to see at least another 6 this round. So that's 12. 5 and 5 essentially at the top of the next round.
Yeah.
If we see, oh, we didn't see the Final Cry though, so
Oh,
that could be a different
I
card.
disconnected. There are some technical issues, but should hopefully be able to rejoin. Yeah,
Alright.
okay.
I'm still in. And are we going to
So
get 6 to face here, or nope? Hold only.
3, yeah, the buff 3 Sympathy Pain. There it
Sympathy
is.
Bane. Or yeah, there it is. The die
Okay.
went out. And who's taking that Sympathy Pain? Yep, Harold.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
knock
at
out
this
any.
point you're not gonna really care about removing the old salt. I don't think it's worth it when you're trying to rush the damage.
Yeah,
And the consume is in the bin as well, and the Phoenix Attendant. So there's no healing, excuse me, for Carl.
yeah. Although it's still a mystery what that final. Oh, here we are. Oh, just recursion.
Fire Archer.
All right,
Oh,
and we're
to recur
talking
the Fire Archer. Yeah, okay.
yeah, transfusion going to trigger. That's going to knock out one of the two. Herder itself. All right,
Matt
so
says he should have killed the old salt with the sympathy pain. That way you deny the chain of transfusion token.
that would have been good. Would have kept some damage
And
off Hope at the start of the round.
yeah, preserves the blocker as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's really about the draw, right? I mean, this
Yeah,
if he has Molten Gold, Final Cry, Sympathy Pain,
that's it.
and the Fire Archer as well, just in case. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Or even there's multiple Fire Archers. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
2 would do it as well. So there's a number of ways this could go. One Frog's up already. We're going to see a Lightbringer that takes out a blocker.
Do you, in this case, duplicate just for the sake of keeping the hatchling there?
Keeping the blocker. I'd be tempted to, I think, because I don't want to take another 3 off the Sonic
Yeah.
Swordsman. And there's no side action speed ping that we're looking at here, so Frog would get past the hatchling, but without a frog, that's
This is a little reminiscent of the game versus No Such Method because it really came down to the draw and well, ultimately the one mistake from No Such Method, which was swinging out when Killer had the ability to dupe the bats. But in this
Yep.
case, it really, I think, is a matter of if he drew the cards, then what is Carl going to do?
Yeah, pivoting hard off the battlefield and into burn. It's very, very similar here.
I'm getting an offer for dinner from my wife in chat right now. So we'll postpone that. I don't think anyone wants to hear me slurp soup or chew whatever is there tonight. Okay, Void Pulse, yeah. Just
nice,
a draw.
nice.
So he's really he's playing for the draw. So he might not have had exactly what he wanted.
Or this could get it, and it takes out one of the Lightbringers. That's the point of damage off.
True. And spins down Carl's dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
prevents any recursion from going down. And plus, it seems like those 2 dice are important since Carl had to meditate for them last turn.
Yeah, very good call. It's important in this game to pay attention to what your opponent meditates, especially if it's a class to a power side. That gives you an indication of what they might want to do.
It's something, whenever I'm playing Mono Illusion, I'm always on the lookout for that. Know specifically which dice to hit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. Eventually, I'll get to commentating all the record games, and our game is really, really cool.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, Light Swordsman.
Oh, that is some extra pain and unexpected.
Lot of damage. 2, 4, 5, 8 damage.
That is borderline lethal here, but we'll see if a Sympathy Pain comes out of it.
Yep. In this case, I probably would use Sympathy Pain.
Oh, or is that actually lethal? Tough. Oh, I think that is actually lethal here.
1, 2,
I wasn't
3,
calculating
4,
it right.
5. No.
Nope.
He's done 2.
The numbers were ticking down in a different way than I expected on that, Shecky.
But yeah, if Killer hadn't spun them down, then that would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Killer is, well, he's already said GG. I don't think he's actually conceding, but I think he didn't get what he wanted.
I think the GG was expecting to die from the swing.
Yeah. He can't math, is what he claims. Widows.
Oh, okay. Well, that will be 4 damage to face right there.
Okay.
That's there's no chance of Molten Gold here, and we didn't see Sympathy Pain, but we still could see that come out. Well, that would have been the best time for Sympathy Pain.
No, you should have. Yes, I think that would have been the opportune time. We know that he has the Fire Archer, which is 1.
So, but that would deny the use of a Final Cry. So I don't think that he's got lethal here.
Right.
And then it's just a question of whether he gets it before Carl can amass.
Yeah, I think, Brian, your math was off by 1 because the Lightbringer would have been only 1 more damage. But still, now we got to see what Killer can do here. With the Fire Archer, it brings him down to 2.
Yeah, then
denies the Final Cry.
At that point, I think you discard your entire hand and you cross your fingers and you run to Molten Gold at the top of the next round, assuming you survive.
Well, because Carl recurred the Old Salt.
Right.
I mean, he still has the ability to play bats, to dupe the bats.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, there's another Void Pulse in there.
That's true. And we're looking at a pretty
which
clogged up battlefield over on
yeah,
Carl's
which
side.
could draw him exactly what he needs. Oh, he's sympathy powering to draw. Ooh, I love it. You
Yeah.
never you
Oh,
never
and
really see
returning a card
sympathy.
to the bottom,
Okay.
getting that filter action going.
Oh man.
Sometimes it's clutch.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do your math, right? You gotta think out of 11 cards, there's one final cry, one sympathy pain, so that's 2 out of 11. He knows he's that I mean that's not the worst shot.
Was there only one copy of Molten Gold?
Oh, and no, yeah, you're right. Another copy of Molten Gold, but he can't play it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, not
It's
this round, but
irrelevant.
top of next round would do it as long as he can survive to the end of this round.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the hard part when Old Salt will trade out most things that could hit the field right now.
He does have top of round. So if he
Yeah,
draws into it, or if he already has it, and he's able to hold off with, let's say he has Herder.
Herder would solve a lot of problems here. Although I think
Herder
that
would
if there were a Herder in hand, we would have seen it by now, is my suspicion.
potentially, because Carl can't block 3 units, right?
It's true. And that cracks through. But I think Herder, because we know that the Old Salt got recurred, right?
We know the old salt recurs, so I mean, it's potentially lethal. If next turn he plays the Fire Archer and then meds up to Sympathy Power, I would suspect
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, you should do that anyway, right? You should buff
Yeah.
no matter what.
Okay, we're seeing the VBS coming out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to
So,
get pinged off by the Old Salt, but then it'll come right back.
yeah, and then dupe swing.
Oh, Blood Chains. That's harsh.
Oh, okay.
That's backbreaking, even.
That is not ideal. And there's only
No. Herder can't even stop this now because the moment the Old Salt drops, it's going to transfuse off.
he can still duplicate it though. Duplicate swing void pulse wins, right? Oh no, it only gets 2 and he doesn't have the fire archer anymore.
Yeah. Oh, we're going for Fire Archer's gone. And passing, going to force the issue. Can't swing with the Shepherd, that could be a sympathy pain.
All right, Clue, you got your wish. I am using I got my dinner and I'm getting my energy, so it's all on Lark now to carry us through to the end here.
Okay, well, Carl's got some decisions to make here. Putting down an Old Salt and taking off 2 units would be kind of a waste because, yeah, no rush. Putting down an Old Salt, taking off 2 units, that would be a bit of a waste because none of these units are unexhausted, and it's really a question of taking out any last blockers the killer can put up. With 3 dice left, who knows what those blockers could be? Of course, there's always the transfusion to knock off something after the Old Salt comes in, but
Yeah, killer was looking good without the Cham transfusion token there.
but that transfusion token and the blood chains, that's a harsh combo.
Yeah. What can he do? Hmm. I mean, sympathy pain is 2, but you don't have 2 sympathy pains. He's got to figure a way to ping, duplicate, swing
Yeah.
across 2 turns.
I don't know if there's any good main actions here for Carl to take, any great ones at least.
No, that's right. He's at a standstill because if Herder comes down after the old salt, he's in trouble.
Yeah, the Old Salt, well, yeah, the Old Salt would be able to transfuse 1 token and take out 1/2 of the Herder, but then get blocked by the other half, so that's bad.
And Carl doesn't have the ability to divine buff. He still has the river skulls though, so he
Yeah, the
could
River
he could blow up whatever killer puts down.
6 dice is looking. There's a lot of flexibility in 6 dice as well.
If he had had the sympathy pain, he would have played it, I imagine, because then that puts Carl at 1, and we know that he had the fire archer, so that would have just been game.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have it. The
I think
question
so.
is then,
What does he have?
what does he have, and what's the frog for? No, Huntmaster's gone. Clashing
I suspect the frog just killed the
Tempers.
shepherd so that
No,
it doesn't have a chance to swing face.
yeah, I think he's just holding out for top of round.
Yeah, top of round, and then any of your 3 options could end it. Sympathy pain's
Yeah.
a little harder because you obviously have to have life in order to take damage first.
Could Killer have duplicated when he swung with the spiders? Matt says no. I don't remember. I
No,
don't
because
think
there's
so.
a frog ping
Right,
that
he
made the spiders in the first
yeah,
place.
he
Yeah.
did his own.
Okay. Here comes the old salt.
Yeah, it is potential. They're Killer's saying the stupid void pulse in round 1, and then Carl's even asking the raptor. Yeah, I think that was the mistake because he was unable to swarm the bats.
Yeah, that would have really helped. So currently we've got yeah, that could have done it. That could have been the turning point, as they're saying in chat right now.
Yeah,
Or he's a
and
thin, that's for sure.
that's what it comes down to. At this level, it's not who's necessarily got a better deck or the better player. It's about who makes the fewest mistakes, or
Yeah.
in this case, who makes the one mistake.
Cost me 1 damage on Herald, and that's all I needed. Yep. And that could be a sympathy pain waiting in the wings. If there's no Raptor Herder, then I think this is in fact game. It could still be game even with the Raptor Herder.
Well, oh no, yeah, because one, because he could have duplicated and swung at the old salt and at least removed that, and then he would only be facing 1 damage.
Yeah. Guard, however, is still up, and Herald could take 3 or take 2 without dying.
No, that's what I meant. So that 1 damage was super critical.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's basically saying that he has the sympathy pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get that. Why, if he had sympathy pain, why didn't he play it and then Archer?
That would have actually been game too.
That was game.
That would have been game, yeah, and the dice were there for it. Unless sympathy pain is what was drawn with the sympathy die.
The sympathy die, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that then he didn't have the choice, and okay.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
So he has it now, and he's
probably
considering if you ping the shepherd and play herder, does that get you enough blockers? I think you do.
It gets you enough blockers for the current board state, but there's still 4 dice unaccounted for. And, actually, those 4 dice are you'd have to summon a Raptor Herder from the discard.
Yeah.
And that's game.
Does is the Wrath still? No, the Wrath is gone. Not that Wrath would be good anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Meditating all of that burn in round 1. That's now we see another draw.
Draw. So he's trying to draw for the herder then.
Probably for the herder. Based on the fact that the herder hasn't hit the table, I'm guessing that wasn't the herder.
Yeah. Yeah, because sympathy pain here doesn't win you the game.
No.
Drew a molten gold to taunt me. Ooh.
That's it, I think.
Yeah. Shadow, I understand what you're saying. He thought he was going to die when the big swing happened, but I mean, you play it anyway immediately. Even if you think you're going to die, you play it to remove one of the units.
Mm-hmm. That would have
So
prevented the
yeah,
death.
okay. Concede pass.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Game.
Yeah. That
That was
Void
a
Pulse was the mistake.
that was a tight game. Yeah. That was, I think, the one critical play, and then draw order after that. Meditating all of the burn in round one did not make the draw issue any easier.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
That was extremely close.
Very close. Yeah. The difference of one to but
Holding a final cry.
again, he's facing so much recursion and the ability for Carl to play herders later, because I was thinking, what if he played the Fire Archer and then duplicated a Widow's to swing at the old
Mhm.
Salt, but ultimately it doesn't matter because Carl's not, he can just not guard anything and then.
Recur the Raptor Herder, yeah.
Oh no. But you know what? So here's the other thing where I think if Killer did have it originally and he didn't draw into it, getting, even though sometimes you want to hold off until you have lethal damage, getting your
Mm-hmm.
opponent down to 1, especially if you suspect they're going to recur,
Yeah. Keeps
puts
them right off
those,
of that.
yeah, it keeps their options off. And I think that would have been a smart play too if he had it.
If he had
But
it, yeah. Seems like it wasn't an
yeah,
option here.
sorry, I know Killer's probably
No worries. This actually came at
saying
a
stuff.
perfect moment. Do you have an idea of how long it is until the next game?
I do not. Chaos Theory is in now, so I know that it's going to be Underrug versus Brian next. I'm not sure if Brian is still in chat, but if they are, then it would be. Oh, never mind. Already created. There we go. That fast. They were ready to go.
All right, I'll be back in just 1 second.
Yeah, sure. No problem. All right. Second game. Very exciting. So I'm going to switch over to the Odette list. And let's just mute some more chats. All right. Good to go. So we have Underrug Swept on a typical classic Odette Hydra list, I think. It's got Frostback Bear, Lightbringer, and Gilder on the spell board. Then it only has 3 allies, Herder and 2 Sonic, 3 Massive Growth, 2 Moltens, 2 Wraths, 3 Hydra, 3 Sword of Virtue, and then 11 reactions, which are 2 Call to Action, 2 Crescendos, 3 Veils, 2 Ice Trap, and 2 Sympathy Pain. So it basically wants to get 1 or 2 really big hits and then finish off with Burn. And we saw that in the last matchup against Matt Bowers. And then on Brian's side, we have a Herald that has an overloaded spell board, so it's interesting to see what he decides to play. It's got a single chant of Transfusion, Adaptodon, Frostback Bear, Snapper, and Turtle Guard. And then 11 allies. We've got a Duelist, Crypt Guardian, 2 Hammer Knights, 3 Salts, a Pain Shaman, a Phoenix Attendant, a Herder, and a Ritualist. So there's a little bit more beef and heal here. Then we've got, in the action spells, 1 Adrenaline Rush, which I always love to see if you're in color for it and you're running Knights. 2 Blood Brawls, which I believe, if I recall correctly, the 1 Blood Brawl was a big play in the last game. A single Blood Chains, 2 Channel Magics, a Clashing Tempers, 2 Wraths, and then Brian is running 2 Consume Souls in his, 2 Fates, and an Ice Trap. So we are starting round 1. We have Brian, who rolled the most basic, so he's going to choose to go second. And that means that we're going to start hot with Underrug Swept. And this one is going to be interesting to see whether the bypass versus, in my assumption, a Turtle Guard, because that's really good against Bear, and whatever else Brian chooses to start with. He's got such a flexible open, which I think is kind of typical for Brian. I see him play a lot of flexible decks, and he's just very good at knowing what to first five against opponents, and obviously makes it a little bit more interesting when it's open list because there are some mind games. But yeah, there we go. Turtle Guard definitely came down first. We know that he wants to stop the Frostback, but also it's great against Lightbringer because you can't get pulled out of position.
Oh, that's true. I'm back.
Matt says, I think Brian is an overwhelming favorite. Harold can kill the big units super fast. That is true. So it will be interesting to see because, I mean, this list on Underrug's side, it has a little bit of everything. It's got it's got ping, it's got the refresh tricks, it's got Sword of Virtue obviously, and Odette. So there's a lot of removal on Underrug's side as well. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as Matt says, but nonetheless, I think this game is going to be a little bit longer than the other one. It's not going to be as much of a rush game plan.
That's my suspicion as well. The Hydra could get interrupted pretty hard by Herald. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, you need the time to set Hydra up, even with Odette. Although, that's obviously going for the super big Hydra. You could always just play the massive growth turn 2 if you can keep it alive, or if you have the golden veil available to stop Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So we've got Adaptodon, which adds even further control on Brian's side, the ability to lock down the Gilder and
lock down the Hydra too.
Lock down the Hydra, ignore the Lightbringer. You got ping, which is always good. It helps him trade even more into those units.
Turtle Guard's up.
This is, Turtle Guard's up. This is going to be an interesting match for sure. I wonder, do you just, like this Turtle Guard, if I'm playing, I think this Turtle Guard is a huge issue to my game plan.
100%.
Do you enter the Freyet and then
Gilder
ping?
It's an option. It's one of the few options that'll get through it, since it's the bear, I think, is the main damage delivery system here. And if you can't get the bear over the Turtle Guard, I'm not sure what you do. To say nothing about getting the bear over the other bear.
Right, yeah. There's enough blockers that the bypass options are a little more limited. I will say, I love the Lightbringer call to action play that
absolutely
Underrug pulls out. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, guys. I did not open discard piles. So we've already lost a massive growth on Underrug's side. We've got Ice Trap, Channel Magic, and Hammer Knight in the bin for Brian's side. But I think you're okay with that.
Yeah. Remind me, is there a Polarity Mage at play here, potentially?
Let me pull off... no. Just there's very few allies. I think it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't get the draw of the Hydra and you're not able to establish the board with your early control as Odette, then only having 3 allies and 0 recursion can put you in a very difficult position. He doesn't even have Shepherd of Lost Souls to recur anything. Not that you necessarily want to be playing Sonic into Herald, but still.
Yeah.
All right. Shadowfire is dropping the puns. He's saying this match is going to be so unbearable.
But we saw the Turtle Guard go down to enter the fray. We're going to see another 2 damage, maybe 4 if there's a Wallop at hand. Nope, just 4. Oh, nope, straight to the Lightbringer instead.
Brian loves trading down, or I guess it's, I don't know what you call it. It's not trading up, but he loves clearing and establishing his board presence, especially round 1. And I think it's really good because normally, most people I think would just say, oh, Frostback has no blockers, take my early 2 damage and he's not going to be able to kill it now that Enter the Fray is gone and Lightbringer's, just whatever. But that's what Brian tends to do, and that is how he overwhelmed the board in his last matchup.
Yeah, not carryover value. Well, getting the most carryover value yourself. That's certainly one way to win.
Yeah. Carl is now back in chat. Congratulations, Carl. Well played. Rough for Killer. Just didn't draw what he needed to that round. And that Blood Chains was backbreaking, I think.
Yep. Oh, Massive and a Molten in the discard pile over on Under Rug Swept side. Those are two cards that probably.
That hurts your game plan a
Yeah,
lot.
I think that's all the reach kind of gone right there, actually. Besides
Yeah.
the Hydra, because the Hydra is going to be not the worst to shut down. There's Sympathy Pain too. And there's a
Oh,
Hydra.
and one of the Hydras. This is.
That's five
this
cards
is.
that you don't want to see gone.
No. This is one of the issues with running so few units and putting effectively your game plan into a couple cards. Now, luckily, he's running 3 of everything except the Molten Gold.
We're going to see Golden Veil here,
he still
potentially.
has all of these options. Yeah, it's not great dice-wise, but you have to keep that Sonic.
Yeah, there's no way that this doesn't get. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, he's going to be on just the bear now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to put the Gilder out, and he doesn't have the dice to do so anyway. He effectively traded an actual Frog Ping for the.
We could still see Gilder and then Frog Ping to take out the Old Salt. That would put a body on the table, get rid of the Old Salt.
And only well, Adaptodon is going to be able to ping as well.
Mm-hmm. So although if Adaptodon comes in, then I think the Sonic's safe. Because if it were the Gilder Frog Ping plan, I don't know that the bear is necessarily what I would do here.
Yeah, it's tough. So if the Adaptodon comes down with the fire alteration, then the Sonic dies. You can't guard it enough.
Nope, it's 2 shots of 2.
Well, then it forces Under Rug to play the Gilder. So it's really it's a whole timing thing here.
Yeah.
He wants to hold off on making the decision of choosing the Gilder over the bear until the Adaptodon is down. But he's going to take his early shots to just punch Brian for 3. I don't know if I like that.
I think it says that you're not going to be playing the Frostback Bear, because the bear would have potentially been the better one to force the guard to break. And then...
So then you're just going to kill the Old Salt?
Yeah, I don't know, and leave a bear and an Adaptodon up while you take...
Because Brian now just pressures guard. He just swings for 2. You have to guard it, because otherwise it gets frog pinged away.
Yep. Then you put up, I guess you put up the Frostback Bear and swing into the Adaptodon when it comes out. And that saves the... No, it doesn't save the... No, that would save the Sonic.
Yeah, it's a big thing when you have 7 battlefield that allows round over round advantage. We saw that in Schmendrix's graph, where
Indeed.
the advantage went like it was even for the most part all game, and then all of a sudden the incremental advantage built up, and I think Brian hadn't spent like any dice, or maybe it was, well, I guess they're both on Herald. Both Carl and Brian's games played out fairly similarly in their last matchup in terms of battlefield advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But these meditations are they're rough.
Yeah.
And it is part of the game, but man, when you are so close to clinching, that next bracket, and your round 1 is just meditating half of your game plan away, that hurts.
Yeah, it's a real risk that you run when you have a diversified dice spread. I need to meditate for some of it. Okay, we're seeing the bear here. That'll eat the Adaptodon when it comes in.
Yeah, because if he plays Gilder, I mean, he could pass, but then Brian has a really... I think you're okay with that. You have a solid round 2.
I think this round potentially ends with Sonic on one side and a bear and an Old Salt on the other.
Yeah, let me just switch back over to Brian's side. So he could Frog Ping. He still has one card in hand. He could also have a Raptor Herder and go
Oh,
wide.
yeah, Raptor Herder would actually be kind of dangerous here. But the Adaptodon is guaranteed to die if the
Oh,
Frostbite Bear wants it to. Oh,
exactly.
no, we're
No,
going
he's
for
swinging at the
the...
Old Salt.
That's interesting. That means that the Sonic
That is
is very much dead if
very dead.
Brian wants it to
I'm
die.
not.
I'm not sure that I would
I'm
have...
not sure I like that.
Yeah, no, I think that Sonic's just gonna... Frogping, yeah.
The bear killing the Old Salt when it could have guaranteed trading with the Adaptodon and then you keep the Sonic alive.
I'd rather have the
I think that
Sonic
was a
than the bear.
mistake.
I would rather
Yeah.
have the Sonic than the bear, yeah. Well, no shortage of frogs to make up for last round.
All right, sorry, I got another guest star coming in.
Oh, no worries.
He's not going to co-host at all, but we got the little guy here.
Ah.
Mini treatment 2.0. So say hello. He has no idea what's going on.
Hello. All right,
Anyway,
so
one day he's an Ashes player in training.
we've got no shortage of frogs here. Underrug Swept won't have to meditate too much this round, hopefully. Bear to bear. Not a bad way to go, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm questioning how he's going to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Now that he's lost one of his only knights, and I mean, 3 damage is not really enough pressure to do much of anything when you also now no longer have
Molten Aura.
cards.
Yeah. This is... Winning with just the spell board is going to be rough.
I think so.
Herald spellboard is a little more robust in that regard. Odette can knock out the Adaptodon easy, but and that makes it just dead even. But I think that a dead even exchange. Oh, we're going to see a Frog Ping.
Ping, and then Gilder.
Ping and Gilder. Yep.
Assuming. But I mean, it's not
the best math
Gilder
there.
here is not really good. I think you're at a real disadvantage against the Adaptodon being able to simply exhaust it.
Yep.
And then the Gilder with Odette's battlefield size is just clog. It's doing nothing to protect you.
No, it doesn't stop the Hunter's Mark.
The Hunter's Mark, yeah, exactly, is the other thing.
Yep, we're going to see the Gilder. That's 2 dice to knock off, effectively 2 dice to knock off a carryover unit.
Yeah, exactly. That I would not feel like I was in any sort of good position right now.
No, I'd be pretty worried. So we're going to see another Turtle Guard. That's going to stop the one bear that comes out this round.
Yep. Carl's also saying I would rather have Sonic than Bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that the book tax is gone, this turtle is so efficient to stopping everything that Underrug wants to do.
Yeah. But the only thing that it doesn't stop is the Hydra itself, and we have no idea if or when that's coming out.
Sorry, the cards move forward. I don't know if that means Underrug clicked it to attack Crescendo?
Oh, that could be a Crescendo.
It's got to.
It's Crescendo!
Yeah.
Discarding a Wrath and hopping off the Turtle Guard. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 for 8, not bad.
Isn't doing much here for
No. Oh, no.
Oh. Okay.
I love Fate Reflection, but that's nasty.
That's a little soul crushing. That's a die and a card.
I know that was probably being saved up for Enter the Fray, but it's even worse here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how you
Dying
come
two
back from
cards
that.
actually. For oof.
I don't know how you come back from that one.
Killer's saying Brian always has Fate Reflection.
Yeah, it's a blowout of a card whenever it works, and ping is so plentiful right now that it always works.
Yeah, and I mean the real problem is that no matter what, even if he had waited to use it on Frostback Bear, Carl just hold like Fate Reflection is your gold card in this
Hmm.
matchup. Oh, granted, now both of them are in the bin, but still.
It did its job. It did its job.
And every use of Enter the Fray now is against a bad target, and it also is just slowly creeping up. Like effectively, Brian doesn't have to play to really do much to
No,
accumulate the damage.
just playing out the spell board every round, I think, will suffice.
Matt doesn't understand the Lightbringer on the bear. You mean to pull it out of position? Yeah. I mean, really, you're probably stretching for any sort of
I
play,
think
right?
so.
There's
Not a lot you can
unless
do
you
in this
have
scenario.
no, even if you had the other Sonic, you can't play it now. So the only hope is that you have the one and only Raptor Herder and then Frostback Bear to maybe put some damage down, but Adaptodon ruins your plans.
Dapton ruins the plan. There's still a turtle guard. You're not getting the barrow for the turtle.
Yeah,
And if you do all of that, oh, we're gonna see. Yep, bear's gone. But these are some expensive enter the phrase. 2 damage for 2 damage.
very, very expensive. I it's such a tough position because you don't want the Bears to survive. That just puts you in a real bad position.
Yeah,
At the same time, you
you're
know,
giving the bears double mileage effectively.
yeah, exactly. And that's on top of Brian actually trading down
Ice
because
Craft.
if he had actually, oh okay,
That's a good
if he'd
one.
actually hit to face, it would have been 4 damage worth.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so what can let's see. Let's switch back over to the Odette list.
Okay. Old
What could
salt.
he be playing?
We've got an old salt over on Brian's side, recurred. So that's presumably
Mm-hmm.
2 dice of expenses, and then another frog ping. Plus, Harold's ability is still live, so those pings count for double.
Exactly. Yeah. Matt thinks it's a massive bear. So bear, massive growth, but to do what? I guess bear, massive growth,
It
call to
kills.
action.
Could be. It kills a turtle at least. And we don't know how many other units are over on Brian's side, but considering that Brian's deck had a healthy number of them.
Yeah, you charm the turtle, Matt, but then
Here's
I
the
mean,
bear, as expected.
there's the old salt is going to come down.
Yeah. I think that this bear, unless massive growth is pretty much the only thing that's going to stop this bear from dying here.
Old salt and ping clears the bear, and then you're in trouble unless he has another veil.
Hang alone with Harold's ability will clear it. Old salt and then a frog. That knocks it right out.
Yeah, but Matt, you're swinging for 6 at what? You're swinging for 6 at a defender. Like either the turtle guard is alive or the old salt's alive.
Two
I
charm
just don't see
powers.
how you're
I think that has to
two
be.
charm. Okay.
Oh, and no golden veil either.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I don't know what you do with that because bear dies on Harold's next turn to a frog.
Yeah. So you
I guess you
have
can
to swing
massive
it.
it now. It could be massive call to action. No, but there's only one card in hand, so it's not massive call to action. It might
The
just be
issue,
damage mitigation with those charm dice.
yeah, the issue with call to action is if you swing, like old salt swings, so you're going to take at least another 2, and then okay, yeah, he did charm
Yeah,
power. Matt
just
called it.
trading.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
But you don't even have to trade, right? Like Harold, if Brian wanted to, yeah, you can guard, and so he's
Yeah,
gonna get at least two
right,
damage
right.
and clear the bear, unless he has Veil.
I would have expected the Veil on the Hunter's Mark first.
Well, you could, or you could just really be trying to. No, yeah,
Nope, it's gone.
you could be trying to bait out the dice expenditure.
True, true.
So this is rough. We know for sure that Underrug can't do anything without units. Like his entire deck is predicated on. So those two dice are dead.
Yeah. Oh, Raptor Herder. There's units. Although these units
So
aren't going to
he
do
did
anything
have-
really.
Yeah,
Pull that
he
Turtle
had-
Guard.
I mean, you could. No, you can't charm power twice.
No.
So that doesn't
So
work.
you don't get past the Turtle Guard. I think that's just blockers and then pass.
Carl says, "Get some damage in so you look better on the graph." God.
6 damage ain't bad. 6 damage ain't bad. Like if you looked at the HP totals, they're neck and neck.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, I think if you're under rug, every turn you can carry over just hoping to draw into your options is a lifeline.
I think so. Decent rolls.
Okay, Brian had Chant of Transfusion, which he just doesn't want to play. And I think that's the right call.
Yeah, reasonable.
These 3 units are doing much more than Chant would.
Absolutely. These 3 are a lock. 5 dice for a wall that's not very easy to crack through here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, so you Lightbringer the Old Salt, but you're not going to take 2 to face just so that you can counter swing, are you?
Not many other good options, admittedly, other than counter swinging, but 2 to face puts you into a dangerous spot.
He still has the Molten Gold. So I mentioned this last game. You have to assume if you're Brian that he has it or that he drew into it this round.
Yeah.
And
he can only
also
take
Sympathy
7.
Pain. So
Yeah.
5, effectively putting him at 5. If he can counter swing and get 2 damage in, then that means you're at 8.
Oh, is that
for
Clashing Tempers? That's
that is bad.
That's terrible.
Oof.
Clashing Tempers is a card that just does the work.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So Killer said if you also had Crescendo, that would be an option.
Oh yeah,
you would be able to get the full swing.
That would be
But
pretty
now
good
you're-
actually. But now it's not an option. That's
No.
gone.
Now you're in trouble.
A 3/3 Old Salt. That's and a 2/4 Turtle Guard.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a well played Clashing Tempers.
Yeah. And that's his only one. So that came up super clutch for Brian.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, not having those Adaptodons carry over might have helped with this too. There's no congestion of the adaptations. Because that can be something that you run into if you're running both Adaptodon and Clashing.
Carl's saying that he's surprised actually to see him do the adaptations on that right away. The extra attack does nothing on Old Salt, but extra attack on Turtle keeps it out of charm power range.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you're right. The flip is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's being wary of a crescendo hit on the Turtle.
That's what I would think. You really want to keep that because that stops everything.
Yeah, although this is carryover Turtle, there's still this round's Turtle to deal with.
Yeah. Well, at least we know that Brian doesn't have Fate Reflection.
That's true.
So if this is Massive Growth Bear, then you also need to Charm Power
the other bear.
You can't kill everything. That's like,
yeah.
You can't do it all. So he must have Crescendo. Otherwise, I don't see where you're getting your damage through.
Yeah, there's the turtle die meted up. Next turn, another turtle comes up, and that's 3 units that the bear can't get past.
Yeah, and you don't have top of round. Sorry, as Underrug, you don't have top of round, which means even if you hit for 6 or 7, you're not gonna be able to win top of round Molten.
No.
Yeah, Waves also thinks maybe he's worried about Crescendo.
Mm-hmm. I think the insurance policy of having two turtles makes it a little less critical what happens to any given turtle.
Yeah.
Because there's only one bear and 2 turtles.
So Brian is still got his consume souls, actually. Those haven't been binned, and those are his last 2 reactions. And that's a problem, because not only can he clear the Frostback Bear and, in all likelihood, the Raptor Herder,
but straight back up to almost full health.
Puts him almost back to full health, and then he still has top of round, currently for at least 5 damage.
Yep.
So Underrug here is in the tank, thinking,
I think anyone would be in this situation.
yeah. He is playing Sword of Virtue.
Okay. And yep, bear goes down.
Yeah, so that's fine. I mean, that's a
trade even.
2 dice for 2 dice trade.
Not exceptional, but it'll keep the bear off.
Now he does that to keep his own bear alive, and in this case, the Turtle Guard still is out of Crescendo range.
Yep.
So I'm still not seeing how he's going to be able to actually get past this massive wall of units.
You could get past the 2 units that are currently on the table by charming the high life turtle guard, and crescendoing the little turtle guard. But the problem is that the Adaptodon comes down next.
Right, and that's 2 dice and 2 cards for the sake of 2 damage.
Yeah, unless you've got a massive growth up your sleeve, that is.
Right, but then you can't get past, like, you have to take your shot this turn if you were going to do that, because Adaptodon comes down.
Yeah, I guess you can enter the fray the Adaptodon, but
that's true. And again, advance Brian's win condition.
I know.
And it just, another turn. Brian still has 2 Old Salts in there and a Hammer Knight.
Mm-hmm. Lots of things. And even if Adaptodon comes down and goes away, that's 3 dice left. Oh, Hydra. Okay, we're going for it. This is the time.
We haven't seen it yet, so this is at least, we're ending on some excitement here.
Yeah. This is probably where we see Hunter's Mark go into the Hydra. Because if Hunter's Mark hits the Hydra, Odette can no longer enter the fray yet without first having the massive growth on.
Right. And yeah.
Then if the Golden Veil hits, then you can't massive growth it, so.
German, who I believe is a famous turtle hater, he says, it's kind of crazy how good Turtle Guard looks here. Also, Clue is saying that you have Enter the Fray, and Killer's saying, I think you have to Gilder plus Enter the Fray something. And then Matt is saying that you could just play, the Adaptodon here could just exhaust it, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to see a Ritualist. Oh. That's interesting.
Not
what I expected.
You know what? I wonder if he's just doing it for meditation fodder and to effectively get like a main action.
Could be.
Right? Because not to mention, Ritualists can just easily. So here's the thing: you play Summon Adaptodon for the ice adaptation. You don't get the ping, which then means that you're not going to necessarily be able to clear the Gilder
We
Or
did
sorry, the raptor herder right away.
interesting. We went for the Gilder approach on the Hydra.
Yeah.
So that Hydra dies to the next source of death. Oh,
Oh.
that's it.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that's rough.
That's brutal.
And he waited it out until Underrug had played his last nature die just in case
It was massive
Underrug
growth.
had the second
Oh
ice
yeah.
drop.
Actually, massive growth
Yeah.
wouldn't even have helped that because it would just go straight off the duelist. Wow.
And then Adaptodon exhausts the Gilder, and now you're definitely not getting the bear past.
No, there's no way through this at all. I don't even know if there's a way to clear off Herald's field really in any kind of efficient manner because Herald's guard is still up, Turtle guards are still up.
Yeah.
That Adept Duelist
Wow.
was well timed, and
That was super well timed. And that's again a one of, I believe. Yep. That was a one of. So
a very lucky
man,
one of.
on one side we have Underrug just meditating away all of his win conditions, and on the other side we have Brian, who's on a
Drawing
deck
into
that
all
is
the perfect
mostly
parries.
consistent. Yeah. Of one of counters, and they're all coming up. So that's 2 Hydras down.
2 Hydras down. Oh, right, and isn't that all the copies of Massive Growth that were actually in the bin already? Or were there 3?
There's 3 in the deck, so there's 2 down.
And 1 is still large.
Yeah. But it's not going to do you much here.
Adaptodon doesn't even need to ping the exhaust the Gilder, just pings it.
Pangs it away, yeah.
Straight out.
Is way better.
Yeah. And then on 1 bear per round, there's no way you get through this wall.
No.
You need
effectively
a Meteor
well,
does
he
it.
still
That's
has
it.
the other Sonic. He still has the other Sonic.
That's true.
But
that's
yeah,
true.
Meteor would be the play, but he doesn't have it.
Yep.
Keep hearing that Meteor is good.
I know. And wait until you hear about Judgment.
Yeah, this would be crazy right now if Judgment was in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Clue is saying we need to start calling Adept Alice. She beheads the Jabberwocky Snicker Snack.
Charm die knocks out the Adaptodon for half price. That's pretty good.
That is good.
And then that's round.
This is it's actually, I mean, when you consider that we're now in round 4, I'm fairly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I thought based off of the cards Brian had last round that it was going to be the round where it was a blowout and he would finally be able to just get a huge swing in, but
I call it a blowout,
Turtle
but it's
Guard,
like a defensive blowout.
Yeah, defensive blowout for sure, because Turtle Guard is not going anywhere at this point, but also it doesn't contribute anything to the game plan to win.
I think Brian might be considering at this point the fatigue victory.
Yep.
Because again, those are 5 very easy spellboard cards to play, and the bear is effectively never going to contribute to the win condition at this point.
Yeah. Shadow, there are 2 in the bin. There are 2 Hydras in the bin, and so there's also 1 Sonic that is still available. So there's still some stuff. There's also 1 Massive Growth and
2 swords, right?
2 swords.
2 swords is still at large.
Yeah. All right. So
guarding.
Okay.
That life titan is going down very fast.
It's called to action, right?
No, because nothing was exhausted yet.
What's he spending the charm?
Sympathy Pain.
Oh, Sympathy Pain. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Just gotta put some damage in while you can.
Molt Gold puts him down to 5.
5, and the frogs are up for it.
What do you do though? He
Yeah,
can't swing the bear past.
the bear will never get past, I think. So it has to be the Hydra that finishes the game. But as we've seen, the Hydra is vulnerable to Herald.
Well, actually, I didn't even think about this. Sorry. Oh no, it's not 3 Moltens. Oof. That would have been nice if he had
Oh
3
yeah,
Molten,
3 Molten would be
and
good.
then he's actually, yeah, then he would be at least in range. Now, granted, Brian has a ton of heal available, but that it would
Yeah.
be something that he'd have to play around another Sympathy Pain and then Molten.
Oh, there goes one
But yeah,
sword.
he's all right. Sword in the bin, down to 1 in hand.
Meditation is harsh in these longer games.
Yes. Yeah, on 4 colors, that's usually, if you can't win fast,
Yeah.
that starts to put a lot of pressure. Not to mention, I mean, I want Schmendrix to do the graph, but I think he's consistently used Enter the Fray every round and taken 2 damage.
Except for
That's
last
6
round where it was
damage.
1 damage, thanks to the charm die.
Right. Yeah, thanks to the charm die. So 5 though.
Yeah, 5 damage
That's a
is a
big
lot.
difference. All right, we've got it. Massive growth bear.
All right.
Can't do anything.
Can't do anything, but yeah, it's absolutely not. Well, it could
Oh, Charm Power.
charm
The
power
Turtle
crescendo.
Guard.
That will actually do it.
Crescendo. Yeah.
Yeah, unless Herald plays literally any 2-attack unit here,
Yeah.
or
Oh yeah.
just
Sorry.
kills the bear outright.
There we go. I can reduce. There's so many cards in the discard pile. There you go. This is not exactly the feature I requested. I wanted to be able to actually change the window size.
Oh no.
Oh.
It could be a veil though. It's veiled. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Veil. Okay. So he keeps it, but now he can't do.
You can't do
power.
the charm thing, so it's kind of irrelevant. It's lost one way or another. And the 100th mark can still hit the bear, although I don't think that there's any sorts of 4 damage that would leer the bear per se.
No, I mean, what he could, well, no, because if you have Crescendo in hand, then that's using up the last 2 cards in hand, which then Brian knows he's
just free reign. Yeah,
he's in trouble. So the charm power's gone. I mean, he still has his books.
Yeah.
So
not bad books. Lightbringer doesn't really do anything in this scenario. Second bear doesn't really. Well, second bear at least crack through.
The bear is important. The bear can at least. Well, no, can't crack through though.
If there's a crescendo in the second bear, it can crack through.
Yeah.
But I mean, then we're talking about other. That's the scenario. Yeah.
I would think potentially either the other Hydra or Sword of Virtue might
potentially, yeah.
So if you swing Frostback Bear, you swing it again. Yeah, I don't. Enter the Fray plus a Frog Ping can clear something.
1 turtle, yeah. And you can knock out the 4-life turtle with the first swing of the Frostback. Although then your Frostback Bear is going to be potentially at 4 damage if Herald marks it first.
Yeah. He's also got the Ice Trap that he could clear.
True. Ice Trap would be good at least against Adaptodon.
He can Gilder, Frog, and Fray the 4-lifer. Yeah.
I think even just.
Clue saying. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're saying.
Oh, Clue was just saying Rooted is OP. Yeah.
Yeah, no way past that with a Lightbringer. Gilder, okay.
Yep.
But not on anything that could have blocked, so I wonder what that suggests.
Yeah, this would have been potentially the time if you also had an Ice Trap to ping away the turtle, because Brian he didn't met up, so he wouldn't be able to immediately replay the Turtle Guard.
Yeah. They're up. Channel
Red
Magic
King
doing
is
its job.
clearly yeah, unimpressed. He just keeps leaving these games. Uh,
And that turtle being up is a problem because now if one turtle dies, another turtle takes its place.
yeah. And is there anything? I mean, what would be really bad? I think now is potentially the Crypt Guardian.
Ooh,
The Crypt
yeah.
Guardian would shut him out next round, and then you're in trouble because you're drawing 3 cards. One of them has to be the Molten Gold, one of them
Mm-hmm.
has to be the
A
Sword of
sword.
Virtue, one of them has to be the Hydra. So that's 3 of the last 7 cards. What are the other ones? There's only 2 Sympathy Pains, so those are gone.
There's the
One of
Molten
them has to
Gold.
be the okay. One of them has to be the Crescendo.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah,
Odette briefly has more life than Harold, but oh, I say briefly because there's the Phoenix Attendant.
there, yeah, the the lifeline just in case there was any doubt.
Mm-hmm. One of two, because we still haven't seen, I don't think, a single consumed soul, right?
We have not, and Brian is playing 2 of them.
Yeah. So
So if he just even swings Bear into Gilder or whatever, then
Baird
that's
Face isn't a terrible
impactful.
option here either, to be honest.
Yeah. Meditates. So the last call to action is gone.
Last 5 cards in the deck are a
I
known
think.
value.
Oh no, sorry, not. Yeah, two call to
Yeah.
the last call to action. So one of them has to be Sword of Virtue. One of them has to be Hydra.
Sword,
Not
Hydra,
sure.
Crescendo, and then 2 more cards that we weren't certain of.
Oh, Sonic.
Sonic, right?
One of them is the Sonic.
Not a bad draw for your final round, but at that point you can't meditate safely is the issue. And
Yeah, exactly. Because he's gonna face fatigue in one more round.
yeah, and I think fatigue is going to be the nail in the coffin here. And Brian doesn't really have to do anything next round.
Yep, and Turtle on its Bear on its own cannot kill a turtle.
Yeah,
He's just
and
gonna trade here. This
yeah,
makes me think he's got Consume.
it's not even a trade really, since the Brian's Bear will survive.
Yeah. I mean, does he have Consume?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I don't know if I'd even necessarily play it under this circumstance, even if I had it.
Okay. There's the Lightbringer to pull the Phoenix Attendant out of position.
Mm-hmm. Although I'm not sure how important that position is, really. The 2 turtles are still up, even with the bear and the attendant exhausted. And then there's the potential
Yeah.
for an Adaptodon to come out free of charge now.
Yeah, those turtles are effectively the unit that has won Brian the game, or at least the defensive game.
I think so, yeah.
It completely shuts down everything that Underrug wanted to do.
Yeah, the bears could have been a good win condition, except for those turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hydra almost
So
had a shot at it, but that darned it up duelist.
he guards with the Gilder, which,
Yeah,
fine.
sensible. With this, you can get 1 damage through, guaranteed.
Yeah, but
then
you
you
lose.
Then what? Yeah.
then you lose on the counter.
So exactly.
Brian's got 5 dice.
Yeah, took out the Frostback Bear. I mean, somewhat sensible there.
Brian
We
could have
don't want
Hammer
to carry it. Yeah, there could be. It could be Hammer Knight and Adaptodon for all we know. Or Pain Shaman.
Okay, Pain Shaman. Sure.
More healing, sure.
More healing and ping. It doesn't help you against the bear, but you don't care because you've got the turtles.
Exactly,
I'm
yeah.
wondering what. So he's not playing Adaptodon for sure this round, which means I think
Crypt Guardian.
based off of the meditations, he's got Crypt Guardian.
That's my guess too. And I think you probably want to save that Crypt Guardian for the very end when there's no. Well, actually, there's really no chance of the Crypt Guardian dying to begin with because the turtle can always eat a card for it now. But
Right, but then that doesn't exactly set you up. Like I think you're trying to engineer the top of round swing so the Pain Shaman can clear out either the Gilder or the Lightbringer, and then the bear can't do anything. You've got Crypt Guy to clear out one other unit, so really it becomes just the Frostback Bear, which the Crypt Guardian exhausts that top around.
exactly,
And you're swinging for at least 4.
And then you just sort of wait it out. Fatigue will finish the game if you don't do it yourself.
Killer saying it's Hammer Knight or Crypt Guardian. It's probably Crypt Guardian just based off of Brian's prior meditations, or rather lack thereof, on the nature die. He could obviously be bluffing, but
I do think the turtle was originally meditated specifically for the sake of replacement turtle guard.
Yeah, for sure. You want to make sure, like, that was a free meditation off of the channel magic anyway.
Yeah. See a pop into the Gilder, take out a blocker preemptively. That makes sense.
And what could Brian do if he wanted to win top of round? So if he does have Crypt Guy.
Nope, not seeing a Crypt Guy.
Okay.
Is it Adept Duelist? It's Adept Duelist. Interesting.
Oh. Okay.
Well, that will actually get rid of the massive growth too. That's painful.
Yeah. I don't know though. That it gets rid of the massive growth, but you don't really care.
It's true, but it means that you can't swing the bear at all.
True, but it doesn't kill the bear.
No. Well, if the bear swings into a turtle guard, the bear dies. If you swing the Adept Duelist into the bear first, but
yeah. So it can swing, but yeah, it allows Underrug to keep a unit.
Yep. I don't know if I'd want to. Well, yeah. Even if Adet takes out the Adept Duelist, I think that's a loss for Odets.
Yeah, kill the Lightbringer.
Kill the Lightbringer, knock off the growth, and then top of round doesn't look pretty good here. No, not taking off the massive growth. Interesting.
I guess he wants potentially one of the turtle guards to die.
Maybe. I don't see any benefit in not taking off the massive growth, but
1, 2. It's at most 4 damage. What am I missing here? The Clashing Tempers is gone. He could end up having Adrenaline Rush, but that preemptives, like, that's 2 swings at least. Brian doesn't have any burn. No Fire Archer, no Sympathy Pain, no Final Cry, no Molten.
I think if you're Brian, you might just pass. You could really just pass until that threat comes out.
Yeah, you could. There is. It's the Sonic. He's gonna have the Sonic.
Yeah, Gilder, take out the Adept Duelist. That makes sense. Nothing you can do about that. And that's spellboard, so it's not really putting you into the fatigue zone. I imagine we might see Phoenix Attendant heal here.
Yeah, you do that just because, and then.
Yep.
You can put down your own bear. There we go.
Yep,
Brian
there's the bear.
Yep, there we go. And the Lightbringer and the Gilder are no help here, so that other bear is effectively pinned.
Mm-hmm. It was already relatively pinned just by the turtle guards, but yeah. Do we know if there's still a veil in play?
There is
no, all three in the bin.
One, two, no, all in the bin, and there's one crescendo.
Right, so that Hunter's Mark is going to hit whatever it wants to now.
So his last cards are Crescendo, Sonic, Sword of Virtue,
Hydra.
Wraths are in the bin, Hydra, and Ice Trap.
Okay.
So the Ice Trap takes care of the Adaptodon. Crescendo can, in theory, clear the bear, but then I guess
What are you discarding?
Yeah.
And I think if you play any of the cards in your hand, you have to more or less accept that you win this round or you lose this round.
I mean, the problem is that none of. Oh, okay, so he's gonna
force the bear to block. Or not, because I mean, Brian
No.
could just take this to face.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's two
And you
turtles. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
two turtles, so even Crescendo only clears one of them. That doesn't
Yeah.
do anything. He has to kill the bear in order to play Hydra. That's right. Yeah, so he has to, maybe he swings the Gilder.
It looks like we're taking back that attack.
No, you just hadn't, I guess, finalized. You swing the Gilder, kill the bear.
Oh, it looks
he's
like bears.
Okay.
Okay. I guess just shave off as much value as you can this round.
And the massive growths are all in the bin too.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing. There discards the Sonic to the Crescendo.
Oh, interesting.
You want to play the Hydra, but
can the Hydra alone do it this round? Sword of Virtue and Hydra, I mean, would finish the job if you could get the entire system running. But you need to make sure that the Hydra doesn't die to Hunter's Mark, and I don't know if you have a way to actually guarantee that.
So there's the Ice Trap on the Adaptodon. Thing is, right now, Brian, if he wants, can met up. If he doesn't have a Hammer Knight in hand or the Crypt Guardian, he can also met up for an Old Salt.
Right.
So and this is
pretty easy meditations to make too. When you've still got 6 in deck compared to 0.
Hydra plus gold. Does Brian?
But there's no more golds, right?
No, there's no golds. That's the issue. There's not 3 molten golds. There's only 2. So he's out of burn completely. Sympathy pains are also gone.
Mm-hmm. If not for that first round meditation, that could have been an option, but
that first round, like considering how close it is now, I think Underrug had the ability to win this match, but that first round meditation of all those cards was really hurtful.
Mm-hmm. There's a Hydra.
There's the yep. So Brian can't kill it. No, he can't.
Not immediately. But the Hunter's Mark goes on it anyway, because that means that, oh yeah, if you just Hunter's Mark it, Odette can never... Oh no!
Oh, okay. GG. Forgot about the Blood Brawl. Oof.
And the Hunter's Mark alone was the guarantee, because Odette can't enter the fray onto the Hydra when it's Hunter's Marked.
Oh, no. Is that true?
I think so. Hunter's Mark, when it receives damage, which it takes twice as many wounds.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's not from your own attacks. Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, but Blood Brawl was a very tidy way to hammer it in.
Yeah. Man. I know it's not true, but it honestly feels like Brian always has the exact cards that he needs. Like every single time
Every
we
single
watch him
time.
play, he has exactly the one card that he has, or the one copy of a card, he always has it.
You got to trust in the heart of the
Wow.
cards.
Blood Brawl is super good with turtles, for sure.
And that's for sure. Yeah, because your opponents, like, they can't. First of all, they can't hit the turtle to take the damage off of it. Um, but they're just really good damage sponges as a whole.
So yeah, he's basically, I think, probably
That's game.
that's game. It's 4 damage fatigue wise. He can't get the win. He can only do 2 damage.
Yeah,
But Brian has
Brian
all
could
day.
just be pathing here. I think that. Oh no.
That's okay. That's an insult.
There's playing with your
Ouch.
food.
So he did have 2. I didn't confirm. He had 2 blood brawls. Well, that hurts.
Yeah.
Is he gonna call a good game, or is he gonna actually let Brian hit for 2 and then pass? Oh, I mean, Brian still has a ton of dice. He's got 4 dice.
Yeah.
He could play a knight, swing
And
for
meditated
5.
for 2 ceremonial dice. So presumably that last ceremonial die is going to be used for something.
Underrug is using the frog ping. I'm not sure.
Damage dependent. I guess just the final move. Oh, probably to Odette it.
All right, so we are gonna have ourselves a Carl versus Brian, Harold versus Harold, control versus other control. Yeah, it's potentially gonna be a long one. Brian says, "I have a hammer knight."
Yep, GG.
Good game. Those brawls were soul crushing.
Is that GG right now? That's only 4 damage. I mean, fatigue obviously ends it, but yeah. There could be one more thing with that time die. Who knows?
Not seeing what it could be.
Okay, then that's just game by fatigue.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, thanks for watching, Matt. Thanks to everyone for joining in. Glad we could do it. I'm glad that it all worked out for German and Chaos, sitting comfy at home, watching me do all the hard work. Thank you, Lark, so much for joining, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What is this? We've gone for 2 hours?
2 hours, I think, yeah. 2 consecutive hour-long games.
Well, yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties to start, but
yeah, actually, interesting. We're only at 30 seconds left on the clock on this one. So I wasn't keeping track of the timer, but it went straight to the end.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Well, and round 6. So
yeah,
the game.
I love game.
There we go. Congratulations, Brian.
What a show! Congratulations.
Yeah, this was awesome. I am not sure if I'll be. Impossible German saying hoping for Thursday final and Nick to commentate. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, one way or another, I think we can all say Harold is the true winner.
Yes, which has been the theme for sort of the second, actually, the 3/4 of the year. Whenever Corpse of Eros came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, congratulations to the top 4. You guys get your playmats. Big hugs, embrace for coming in 3rd and 4th place. And it'll be interesting to watch the finals. And Waves saying we should do no time limit for the finals. Make it a whole day event, halftime show. Sure, Waves, are you going to
Yeah.
perform? Bring out the music, the drums, do a little dance, light show? It was really cool though. Both of these matches were very different, which is always exciting, to
Hmm.
not watch a repeat of the same thing.
It's fascinating to see how
And
different the Herald decks were.
very, very different. Very different approaches, which just goes to show the flexibility of Herald.
Hmm.
Not to mention the flexibility it has in the types of matches it's facing, right? You're facing Odette bypass, and the other one was facing
But burn.
back row burn. So yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. And yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else, I don't know. I think that's probably it. I don't think German has any other announcements to make. Clue's just saying Harold Pact. Thanks so much for commentating. Yeah, guys, everyone, this was great. Lark,
Hmm.
really, really appreciate it.
Likewise.
And if in the future I need a last minute addition, I'll reach out to you. So
Sounds good. Always happy.
yeah, to everyone, thank you very much. This has been the Jankyard streaming the collection 2023 top 4. Frog up, wolf down,
Snake out.
snake out. And if you're not janky, you're stanky. Thank you, everyone. Have yourselves a great